You are listening to Pivot Parenting, episode 199. How did I not know? Welcome to Pivot Parenting, the place where we recognize when your parental role needs to shift and how to do it. I'm your host and parenting expert, Heather Frazier. Hey, welcome to today's episode. I have a huge announcement that I have been dying to tell you because it's so exciting. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but parenting and pretty things are two of my favorite things. And hopefully they're yours too, because today I am announcing my book launch party for How I Fixed My Teen book that I wrote, which is crazy for me to say, but so exciting. And it is at one of my favorite boutiques that I like to frequent, especially back to school with my girls, or when I just need something cute for myself or as a gift. My book launch party is at Soul Boutique, which is in the Provo Riverwoods Mall in Provo, Utah. It's just right at the mouth of the canyon, March 2nd from 11 to 1. Everyone who comes will get a free digital copy of my book. I will also have hard copies there for purchase. They're $12. If you would like me to sign it, if you want a hard copy, sometimes I like one or the other for whatever phase I'm at in life, but free digital copy to everybody who comes. Hard copies to purchase. We will take selfies. I will sign your hard copies. I have other goodies and surprises for you as well, but I'm going to keep those secret for now. It is going to be so fun. So mark your calendar, grab your daughters, your girlfriends, your sisters, your mom, and come hang with me. There's also really fun restaurants in the river bottoms, so you can come see me, go out to lunch, make an afternoon of it, just like a little lady Saturday, which we all love and need sometimes. Also, this is the last week of pre-orders on my book, How I Fixed My Teen. If you can't wait for the launch party and you just want it sooner, pre-orders are going to receive the audio version of my book this week. I'm in the midst of recording it. It is going fantastic. This is also a great option if you don't live close or you can't make it to the launch party, as I am also signing all of those hard copies and sending the books to you directly from myself. So two really great options. I want to let you know that this book is already getting really great feedback from critics and friends who have gotten the digital version. You definitely don't want to miss it. It's going to be a pretty big deal. And to let you in on insider tricks, it's a great deal for 8 or more. It's $12 for a book is still a great deal. It's a hard copy, great artwork. But if you buy 8 or more for like book clubs, which of course I want an invite to, or a favorite things party at the end of the year, they're only $8 if you get 8 or more books. But that deal's only on my website. So definitely keep that in mind. And also, if you buy the book on my website, you get a really swanky deal on my course. And this price, I'm not even going to tell you what it is because it's so fantastic. This price is only available the one time that you check out with my book. And it is a staggering deal. So if you're into good deals and if you're into good parenting help, this is the perfect combination for you. So heatherfrazier.com, you can check out my book. Once you've purchased the book, then it will pop up to also join my course for a screaming deal, which you can totally do. My course Family Connection Design course has 5 modules with worksheets and is a great way to get coaching with me because I offer a monthly office hours call for everybody in the course. So you can come once a month and get coached on whatever you need in your life that you've been working through in the course or otherwise. So keep that in mind too. All right. How did I not know? Something I've thought, and most of my clients also think at least a few times during our work together. There are 3 typical situations that we might think this phrase. Of course, there's always more. These are the most common. Looking back. How did I not know my kid had depression, anxiety, mental health struggles, or was doing sneaky things like sneaking out or viewing porn or all the things that kids can do when we look back? Not seeing their kid clearly or well or the situation well. How did I not know? Number 2, not seeing how they were not helping the situation, the damage they've done. Commonly, it's generational or cultural habits, things that their parents handed to them or their culture handed to them that were actually damaging and not helpful. How did I not know? Number 3, present time. They are catching their kid in sexting, vaping, cheating, stealing. They're doing something right under their parent's nose in the current moment, and their parent finds out. How did I not know? We ask this because we wanted to have prevented it, and so that we can know, so we can prevent it now and in the future. Our brain thinks that this is a really important question. I want to tell you that it's actually not. There's a lot of pain and regret all around this question. And here are just a few concepts that I want to introduce you to if you're finding yourself in the very stuck feeling of asking yourself this question. And if you have asked yourself or are currently asking yourself, how did I not know? You know what I mean when I say stuck. Feels like you're running as fast as you can on a hamster wheel, like you're exhausting yourself, but there's no forward momentum. So here are the 3 things I want to teach you. Number 1, there is a sense of this shouldn't be happening. My child shouldn't be in this position. Something has gone wrong. They shouldn't have had depression. They shouldn't be sexting right now. I shouldn't have behaved that way. Now, this makes sense because we don't like hard spots, but this undertone of this shouldn't be happening or this shouldn't have happened or I shouldn't have not known, this is a lie. Because you are where you are. And our brains find clarity and peace when we accept the truth and stop running on this useless hamster wheel of why didn't I know? This does not mean that we have to like where we're at, but facts are facts, right? And everything in the past, even if it was 10 seconds ago, there's no going back. It is what it is. What was said and what was done is done. No takebacks. A more valuable question is, now what is my best move? Rather than, how did I not see this? How did I not see this? I really want you to get the mental picture of a hamster on the hamster wheel, or like a carrot dangling that is never achievable. That is what this question is. It's useless, it exhausts us, and it produces nothing good. Just exhaustion and like no progress. Number 2, it's a lie we all like to believe that parents are supposed to protect their kids from basically pretty much everything. Now, I can't fault parents for thinking this because when they're little kids, we almost kind of do to a larger degree. Sure, there can be like congenital illness or whatever, but we can keep our infants away from other people so that they don't get sick. We can decide when to feed them and when to change them and where they're going to be. And we have a lot of power to protect them, but not entirely. Still, we could all be in the car together and something bad could happen or a pandemic can start. Like, we just really don't have control over most things. So this is a lie. The interesting conversation that we had last night at dinner perfectly exemplifies this point. Because essentially, parents are supposed to protect their children for everything is like a Siamese twin to parents are responsible for their kids' outcomes. Parents are responsible for their kids' choices and for their lives, for their successes and for their failures. This is absolutely not true. So our family was having dinner last night, and my girls were telling us what was going on at school. And my girl, who unfortunately is only in junior high, shared that another young girl is rumored to be pregnant. Now, having a conversation around gossip and how to love and support other women in our life is definitely a conversation that we had, but that's not what I want to dwell on. One of my other children said, "Oh, she must have terrible parents. Terrible for letting it happen." And then my daughter in junior high said, "Yeah, and everybody says that they put cameras up everywhere in their house and they made her move schools and like all of these more trying to control the situation behaviors." And then the same daughter said, "Yeah, terrible parents. That's not okay." Essentially, my daughter was trying to have it both ways in describing these parents as terrible. But we can't have our cake and eat it too. Either her parents were too permissive and didn't help protect her, or they were too strict. And maybe they were so permissive and then swung to the other side and became more strict. But guess what? First off, this is all hearsay. We don't know what's happened in this family, but let's say it's all true. Let's say that this is actually what happened. Neither one is true. Her parents weren't too permissive and they weren't too strict, and they're not terrible. Because guess what? Kids do as they want. They're very resourceful. Yes, 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 we can do all that we can from love and support to teach, guide, and protect our children. We definitely need to do all that we can to protect our kids. Just like we wouldn't leave a loaded gun around the house, we would want to make sure that we're having conversations around sex, porn, drugs, alcohol, vaping, cheating, stealing, like all of those things. Yes, we need to educate our kids with love and confidence and peace. Teaching them out of fear is not the most helpful situation, but that's another conversation. Focusing back on the parents are supposed to protect their children from everything, you cannot. At the end of the day, they're going to do as they please, and they are very good at this. You will never know everything, and you can't prevent all negative things. And you're not supposed to either. None of us are supposed to live in a bubble. You can't protect them from themselves, others, or life 100% of the time. You just can't. You are fighting an impossible battle when this is the stance that you take. I want you to picture like Moana. for example, with the ocean. And everybody said, you can't go into the ocean. You can't go into the ocean. But guess what? Kids want to go into the ocean. It looks so fun. And they see other people doing it, and it looks so fun. And oftentimes the ocean comes to us and we are just in it. It is far better to teach them how to navigate rough waters than to try and keep them out of the ocean altogether. That is impossible because none of us live in a bubble. So teach them about emotional health, choice and consequences, all of the emotional intelligence that you're gaining here and that you already possess. That is more important to model and teach for them than managing them. I promise you will get a better result. So please don't fall victim to the lie that we're supposed to protect our children from everything, which is a secret undertone of it's always the parent's fault whether their kid is successful or not. That's a lie. Last one, number 3. Your brain wants to spin in the how did I not know hamster wheel, but this is not helpful. Now, of course, we need to see where we could have improved. Like if you're regretting them, how you treated them in the past. Maybe you yelled last night and your brain is like, oh, I shouldn't have yelled because how did I not know that then they would threaten to harm themselves, for example? How did I not know that my choices would have affected them in this way? So yes, we can be analytical and say, I could have done this differently. I should have stepped away and managed my emotions and looked at it from a helpful stance. But the I should have known isn't typically that. They're different. We don't want to stay stewing on the hamster wheel. It's a weird thing we do, but it happens actually all over the place in our lives. We sit in self-wallowing shame, and we think we should be there, that it's productive to have so much pain and shame and guilt. We think that it's important or that we deserve it. We do this with, a lot of times it's around food and body issues. Like we think that we should hate our bodies. Weird how society teaches us that, isn't it? And a lot of times in relationship, especially when there's something catastrophic happening, like I should have known this is what my husband was doing. He was looking at porn, or I should have known that my job was going to lay me off so that I could have been looking for another job. Our brain wants to do this as a protective stance so that we can arm ourselves to never let it happen again. But what ends up happening is we just spin and spin and spin, and we feel really terrible. We sit in self-wallowing, and its effects are the opposite of helpful. Parents typically get naggy, nitpicky, or just give up from this space. Spouses become paranoid, accusatory. It just isn't pretty. And this is the worst timing for us to be in this space, because this is typically the space when our kids' lives are also really challenging and they need the best of us the very most in these situations. But it's almost like a false sense of safety to remain on the hamster wheel of doom and gloom. Why? Because it's familiar, because we don't have to do anything except hate on ourselves or other people. And our brain actually likes both of these positions in a weird way. I'm going to go into a deep dive in this aspect on the upcoming episode 202 next month. Because did you know that our brain has like this little pyramid scheme of its own? And it can self-sabotage us a lot. So you definitely want to catch that episode for more detail on this because we are running out of time for today. But it's enough to know that our brain thinks that this is really important and it's not. It's not helpful. It actually is sabotaging to our sense of self and happiness, and more importantly, our most powerful position to help our kids. Okay, take these three things, consider them. And I just want you to know, my friend, that I see my job as introducing you to new ways of seeing things, considering yourself and your teens. And I know that you're intelligent and capable, and I want you to know that I believe in you. You are a good parent. I picture you and think of you and your needs and wounds as I prepare each of these podcast episodes every single week for you. And I would love to hear from you. You can email me or reach out on social media. You can read my book. You can come. I would love it if you came to my book launch party and we could take pictures together and post them and chat. It would be so much fun. Try out what you're learning. And as always, I am here if you're stuck. We can work together as a coaching pair. We can just have conversations on email or Instagram. I'm here for you. I want to support you. You are the reason I show up every single week. And can I ask you a favor? Will you please go on the platform that you're listening, iTunes or whatever, and write me a review? It's actually kind of embarrassing how long it has been since I've gotten a review. And it is through reviews that put me at the top of the search. So when people are looking for parenting help on podcast platforms, if I have more recent reviews and ratings, then I show up at the top of the list. So if you like what you're learning here and you want other parents to be able to find me, and you just want to do me a solid, please take 30 seconds and just write one thing you learned, your favorite thing, any kind of honest feedback on pivot parenting. I would be forever grateful, and I will read it on the podcast. So thank you, and we will talk to you next week. Heather is the one, an expert in the field. She knows her parenting stuff, including how confusing it can be. You've tried it all, and it's a lost cause. Crying in the closet 'cause you failed.